All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and immense glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Merchah HaKodash. Double honors to my apostles, the great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopefully elect, the Becharim, the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last end times and to be the ruling governing body of the nation of Yasharallah. So this is going to be a um, news and World War III update. All right, type of video. So the first one I want to go into is an article that was posted 2 hours ago. All right, it says one dead after powerful earthquake rocks Mexican resort city. 1 million without electricity as storms could complicate cleanup. Right, and we know again this is all prophecy. How the Lord said there will be earthquakes in diverse places. All right, and one just happened uh, in Mexico City. All right, and 1 million people were without electricity. All right, they say one died. Could be more. All right, but either way, this is prophecy. Earthquakes being in diverse places, and the Lord is sending out judgment. Okay, the Lord is sending out judgment. All right, and who are those people in Mexico? All right, the so-called Mexicans are really the Hebrew Israelites from the tribe of Issachar. All right, you see, the Hebrew Israelites are not all black. No, all right, they're different shades of brown. Okay, and we have been scattered, so we're gonna look like the other nations due to our scattering around the world. All right, and sleeping with the other women, other nations, and from the conquistadors and the rapings. Okay, so let's get Matthew the 24th chapter, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and that's the next article I'm gonna get. All right, NATO preparing war with Russia, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So all these are the beginning of sorrows. All right, before all hell break loose. You know, the second Ezra chapter 9. Start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I had told thee before, all right, the prophecies, all right, that's how you measure them. You look at the news and you're, you know, um, you're comparing it with scriptures, all right. You're looking at the news being a watchman, pursuant to Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, okay, and you're linking it with scriptures and prophecy. Because remember, the testimony of Yahushua is a spirit of prophecy. So all these things are meant to happen before the great and dreadful day, before all hell break loose, before World War III kicks off, all right, and before the MOB, okay. But all hell's gonna break loose, okay, and Yahushua is gonna return and deliver the elect, and we're gonna be on top in rulership. But all these things must happen beforehand. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Now, is he going to visit the world physically? No, he's doing it through his word. All right, he said there's going to be earthquakes, and now his word is being physically manifested on the earth. All right, and now you're having earthquakes all over the world. And people say there's always been earthquakes. Yeah, of course, but not on this level. All right, in diverse places, you know, and when you look at them, they're all in the 7 point, in the seven numbers now. All right, they're getting just higher and higher. You know, it says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right. So the Lord said that this would happen. All right, and His words don't come back void. Okay. So it says electricity was being restored. Salakia. All right, electricity was being restored to more than 1 million Mexican homes and businesses Wednesday after a powerful earthquake centered near the Mexican resort city of Acapulco killed at least one person, damaged some buildings, and sent others swaying for hundreds of miles. The U.S. Geological Survey said the magnitude 7 quake struck late Tuesday, about 10 miles north of Acapulco, a coastal city of almost 700,000 people in the state of Guerrero on Mexico's southwest coast. More than 100 aftershocks rolled across the region in the hours that followed. More than 1.6 million power customers were left in the dark. You see, millions of people were left in the dark. That's going to come here to America. Worldwide, really. They're going to shut this whole place down. When I say they, the elites, because they want to implement the new world order. All right, and this judgment from the Most High. But wait till there's an economic collapse, a world economic collapse, the electricity grid off, just worldwide. You know, that's going to be devastation to a lot of people. All right. It says some as far as Mexico City, 200 miles from the epicenter. The Federal Electricity Commission said Mexico City Mayor Claudia Sheinbaum said Shine Bam or Boom sound like a Amalekite's name. Said power was quickly being restored in most neighborhoods that had gone dark in her city. All right, a big hug to everyone for today's scare, she tweeted. Guerrero State Governor Hector Astudio said a motorcyclist was killed by a falling post in the nearby town of Coyoca de Benitez. All right, and that's judgment, man. Judgment is going down on the earth. All right, this earthquake hitting Issachar, the flood, or Hurricane Ida, the flood that hit Louisiana. A lot of them was Southern Kingdom over there, and Gad. All right, so the Lord is sending judgment. All right, and he's hitting his people. Oh yeah, man, it's gonna get worse and worse. Okay, so let's go to another news article. All right, it says how NATO can prepare for the unthinkable, a war with Russia. Right now, I want to get some history real quick. All right, because you have to remember what NATO was created for in the first place was to defend itself or come against Russia. All right, because Russia being that powerhouse, the USSR state, the Soviet Union. All right, and them Russians over there are the Most High put a very mighty spirit on them. You know, I actually knew one in the world. The kid from he was Ukrainian, but he spoke Ukrainian and Russian, which are the same people. All right, the same tribes that Esau in that section. All right, those are the warrior tribes of Esau. Just like Gad and Reuben and Manasseh are the warrior tribes of Israel. All right, so just look up NATO. I think alone now. All of a sudden, want to be. Come on, man. I want to be Satan. All of a sudden. All right. So it says NATO, founded April 4th, 1949. All right. The headquarters is Brussels, Belgium. Founders, United States, France, United Kingdom, and more. Let's see. All right. Let's just see real quick. Because remember, NATO is part of the beast. All right. It's part of that beast system. Okay. It's part of that 10 horns. All right. It says also called North Atlantic Alliance, all right, or North Atlantic Treaty Organization, is an intergovernmental military alliance between 28 European countries and 2 North American countries. The organization implements the North Atlantic Treaty that was signed on April 4th, 1949. All right, to come against who? Russia. Okay, it says on March 4th, 1947, the Treaty of Dunkirk was signed by France and the United Kingdom as a treaty of alliance and mutual assistance in the event of a possible attack by Germany or the Soviet Union in the aftermath of World War II. Okay, see? In 1948, this alliance was expanded to include the Benelux countries in the form of the Western Union, also referred to as the Brussels Treaty Organization, established by the Treaty of Brussels. All right, so it was you know, a military alliance just in case, you know, Russia, against Russia or Germany after World War II, because Russia was a powerhouse, and look at Germany; they started both World War One and World War II. Kaiser, Wilhelm in World War One, okay, and then World War II. You see, World War II started by the Germans. All right, I believe on what, September 1st or September 2nd, 1939. That's when they did aerial bombings on Poland. And over there in Eastern Europe. All right, so let's get some scriptures. All right, because this is getting ready for World War III. All right, it says Ezekiel 38 verse 1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, Russia, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against them. All right, so again, like I said, I was talking about Russia. All right, and it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So, okay, just give me 1 second real quick. Give me 1 second. So, okay, about that. But yeah, these are the nations that Russia is going to be a guard unto. All right, it says right here, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomor of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. You see? So that's what's going to happen. All right, World War III is getting stirred up. All right, Revelation 11 chapter says, two worlds are past, and the third world coming quickly. All right, that's World War III. Oops, so let's go back. So NATO was, part of the beast system designed to a military alliance designed to come against Russia. All right, or to defend itself. All right. So let's go back. I just didn't want to go slow now. All right. So it says it is time to get serious about shoring up NATO's defensive capabilities in Eastern Europe. Russia continues to undertake activities designed to intimidate NATO allies and undermine the stability of neighboring Eastern European countries. The Russian military is improving its abilities to deploy large combined armed forces along its western border and to conduct short notice attacks anywhere from the Baltics to the Black Sea. All right. It says it is also deploying a host of precision air and missile strike capabilities that can rain destruction on NATO forces. You see, and that's the scripture we just got. How they're gonna, you know, roughly paraphrasing it, be equipped with all sorts of armor, buckler, and shields and swords. All right, because Russia is becoming more military advanced, and that's the Lord doing it. All right, preparing for the day of Armageddon. All right, Armageddon. Okay, because again, that's where the main place, the great battle, is going to take place. All right, it says in what, Revelation 16 chapter. All right, it says uh, Revelation 16 verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles, which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world to gather them to the battle of that great day of power almighty. Right, skipping down to verse 16, and he gathered them together into a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon. All right, the mountain of troops. Okay, but that's that great that's that place, that great day, or that great battle. All right, I believe in Joel the third chapter it says it too. Joel 3 verse 2, it says, I will also gather all nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yehoshaphat, Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and part of my land. So this is why. All right, as it says in Zephaniah, the 3rd chapter, the Lord's determination is to do what? To gather all the nations and bring them where? To Armageddon, the mountain of troops over there in the Middle East. All right, that's why so much tension is going on over there, because they're all going to be gathered over there. It's no coincidence that Biden sent them you know, um, the military troops over there, all right, to evacuate the Americans, and now they're extended over there. They have to stay longer, all right, because they're gonna stay over there, all right, you know, possibly, but they're gonna stay over there either way. Eventually they're gonna make their way back into the Middle East, all right, for that great battle, all right, World War III. It says the Russian military is improving its abilities to deploy large combined armed forces along its western border and to conduct notice attacks anywhere from the Baltics to the Black Sea. It is also deploying a host of precision air and missile strike capabilities that could rain destruction on NATO forces, bases, logistics, and other infrastructure. The growing Russian military threat puts a premium on enhancing the military capabilities of the states most under the direct threat of Russian conventional aggression. It also argues for the deployment of additional NATO forces to the alliance's eastern flank, where they would be best positioned to resist a Russian attack from the outset of hostilities. Right. So, yeah, man. This has been, like I said, a news slash World War III update. It's just a prophecy being fulfilled. We're just getting that much closer, all right, to Yahweh return. And that's it. And that's what we need, all right? We need Yahweh to return, all right? Lord willing, we get beamed up, we get deliverance. And after that, rulership for the nation of Israel, starting with the elect, okay? Rulership and freedom, all right? For the whole nation of Israel, starting with the elect, for the earth, we're fighting for our earth as well, man. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I like to give all praise, honor, and immense glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. With that, Shalom.